One of the frustrations I hear, now obviously partnerships, you want them to go well, but sometimes they don't go well. There are obviously challenges to overcome. One of the frustrations I hear, especially from the partner community, is around deal regs. So I thought, how would you be a good one to ask around this? What's the challenges around deal regs? If there's any sort of frustrations around one partner's got one deal reg, one partner's got another, can the vendor get involved? What happens around that?
Yeah, definitely nice the vendor get involved, I think, a little bit more. It feels to us, I guess, as a small boutique reseller that some of the broad line resellers, the supermarkets, they have teams that do nothing else but deal reg all day. So that's our sort of competition, I guess, on that front. But I think HPE are definitely, it's about the relationship with the client, isn't it? It's about driving the right messaging to the client, because it's not just about selling more tin over tin. It's about selling different outcomes now as we sort of move towards that as a service world powered by HPE GreenLake and all those sort of opportunities. So it's not just about who has a relationship, it's also who is driving the right messaging and can deliver the right outcomes for the end user.
And Lewis, for you, how do you deal with that? If you've got two partners, it's a big deal, they're both trying to get the deal, one's got the deal already and the other one's going to be complaining about it. How do you deal with that internally, and how do you deal with that with the partners?
I employed Colin. Actually,
pass the buck.
No. So, look, it's a complex world, deal reg. I think partners that come to us early in the sales cycle are likely to be the ones that win, right? It doesn't mean partners that come to us ambulance chasing, right? You've got to get to know, we got to get to know you. You've got to get to know your account manager. We got to share together what's going on in that customer, because we only see one side of it, right? We only see maybe the HP infrastructure side, but there'd be many projects for those partners to be working on with that customer. So I think, I employed Colin, but I'll give you one story, right? So I was with a partner last weekend. After this show, I flew off somewhere, spent some time with a partner. That's a real partner at the weekend. And I asked that partner, why do you get involved with us on GreenLake? And there was two things he said with me: annual recurring revenue. Every month I start my book with 40K already in there, right? Because that's that revenue stream coming through, annual recurring revenue. And the other thing is that I get to lock out with GreenLake. I get to lock out the competition. And by the way, there's a deal reg program in GreenLake, but there's no margin against it. There's no discount against it. But that partner is already locked into the customer, into GreenLake. So he's got nobody ambulance chasing, trying to win that business from him. That customer signed up for 4 years, right? So there's no easy answer, by the way, because sometimes we have some very tough conversations, but it's being open and honest with partners and talking them through end to end.
If I come to you, Julian, from a distribution point of view, what's the frustrations with dealing with people like Howard and dealing with people like Lewis on a day-to-day basis? What could you fix if you could fix it from a distribution point of view?
Well, I'm disappointed you didn't ask me about deal reg. So very quickly on deal reg, and I'm always a believer in giving credit where credit's due. The change that were made 4 or 5 years ago on deal reg took it from the Wild West to at least something that's manageable. And that was a massive change that we lobbied really, really hard for. In terms of frustrations with dealing with a Howard-esque type, because I don't know Howard very well, is ensuring that they give us the time of day to understand or help us understand what their business is and how we can partner and work with them. So I call that frustration. I'd rather call that an opportunity, but it becomes frustrating if we don't get the time. Working with Lewis, incredibly energetic, very, very driven, really wants to do well and cares. I think Lewis will push us very, very hard and always does. So I guess with my multiple hats on, I'd like him to understand sometimes we do have other priorities. But if I was sitting in your shoes, I don't care about those other priorities, Julian. You need to be dedicated on HPE only. So I'll turn that hopefully into I have no issues with either of you.
Fair enough. One of the other frustrations I hear about, again, I'm just pointing it out, just posing the question, if I come to you, Haf, is around leads. If a lead comes in from a vendor, how is it distributed to a partner? Is it the most, is it the biggest partner? Is it the smallest partner? Is it the best relationship? How's those leads distributed?
I want to pass this on to Lewis.
You're going to give it to me. All right, Haf. Thank you. How they distribute. I think it's a big myth that a vendor the size of HPE creates a lot of leads. We have an inside sales organization in Manchester, Erskine, and in our Winnersh office. And again, with a partner talking about leads, it's tough. If you're an up and coming vendor, you're going after a lot of market share in HPE. You might have some data on that vendor or that customer. You can offer deal reg to them. You can offer them a lead, but it's an opportunity. You're just giving them something. We tried to be fair with it. We've got a partner program. We don't go by the biggest partner. We don't go by the smallest partner. If a customer comes to us and says they're actually going to a public cloud, we've trained our sales team to be able to answer that objection and look at how we can get that customer on the hybrid journey through some of our partners that understand our hybrid proposition. So that's a way for us, instead of just chucking a lead out there, to work with partners that are enabled, that partners that are obviously in the partner program for a start, to be able to be fair with them. But in my years of doing this, I haven't seen more than 20 leads given out to partners. We just don't do it, right? We just don't have them. Partners actually bring us leads. If you think about it, they're bringing us deals every day. So they're bringing the leads to us. So we should do more with any leads that we get.
Julian, do you get involved with leads? You get leads for your partners?
Yeah, plenty of leads. We do a lot of work with BI to uncover opportunities for our partners where they could expand their existing relationships. How do we choose who it goes to? Quite simply, who's making a change in their business to take those leads and do something with it? If I go to a reseller and they're going to pass it to their normal sales team, I'm not interested. If I go to a reseller who have done something separate, done something different to maximize those opportunities, then yeah, sure, I'll go to them. Equally, if I know that partner will buy from us. So we do a lot of work on BI, and we're supplying a lot of our loyal partners good opportunities to expand their portfolio and expand their business.
And where are you getting those leads from? So if you said to me, I was a partner and I'm thinking, I'm bought into working with Ingram, I'm an HP partner, I'm getting those leads. How would I actually get more leads, more relationship with you if I'm actually bought into you?
So, well, we'll discuss what areas you're strong in. We have lots of business intelligence about what are the end user buying from where and how they're doing it. And then what relationship level you would have if you're a reseller into there. So many of our partners, a couple of our partners here today, got great relationships with their end users, but we can tell from what their end users are buying. Yes, they've got great relationships in old technology, but not in the new technology. And this is the thing, when you've been doing the game for quite a long time, you keep talking to the same people you talk to all the time, but there's new people up and coming in. And our resellers, some of our resellers aren't talking to them. So we can help them understand that so they can expand their contacts and therefore expand their business.
Can I just add to that? I think you make a really good point, right? So if we look at install base, right, that is our biggest asset that we've got together with partners. I don't think vendors do enough with that install base data. We've certainly started to do work with that using BI, using our data. And then I think it's actually going to be next week, we will be using install base data and giving every partner business manager their install base for their partner, of their customers, that we can then start to go to that customer and have a different conversation around a workload, or a conversation around that customer's technology is old, it's out of warranty, it's out of support. That's what we got to start sharing, because we've got that data, and actually Howard's probably got some of that data as well, but it's working together. That's the biggest lead.
So Howard, as a partner, you obviously want more leads. You'd obviously want a relationship with Julian where you're getting more leads, and with Lewis. Is there any frustrations from you with those sort of relationships between distribution and vendors?
I said the only lead I've seen recently is the one that I stick to the dog's neck when I'm walking him around. So you may have seen.
Your dog's gone missing.
He has. He wasn't behaving himself, so he got a bit excited. He doesn't come to many events. And, obviously, we set the bar quite high with him to start with. So
there was a mate for him, though, wasn't there? I did.
She didn't like him, though. Yeah.
Oh, right.
But no, it's interesting, the comments that was made. Yeah, the biggest leads that we can generate, I think, are within our install base, because, we have an opportunity to deliver a point of view there, and, and have conversations that people viewing our clients as white space don't have. But also, just building on Julian's point, really, that propensity to buy data, I think, in terms of using technology to monitor, what client/prospects are doing out there in the world of the internet, I think is quite a powerful piece of tech, which will only get stronger as time goes on. So we can actually see who is looking at what and how often, and then sort of build some rules around that or some metrics around that suggest that these guys may well be really interested in doing something in this sort of area of technology because we're seeing this, and we've seen it before historically, and that's what it led to. So it's a whole new world, really. But the traditional lead, I can't remember one, to be honest. I am old as well,
Julian.
so I can't remember yesterday, but that's...
I'm sure I used to give you someone who was your account manager.
No.
Do you get any sort of complaints or issues from partners saying we're not getting any leads or we're not getting enough traction from distribution?
Yeah, so I think just to add to Lewis's point around install base, I think that's a really interesting one. And actually there is some quite useful data that we can share from kind of even a sustainability and sort of IT asset lifecycle point of view around, which customers are coming up to sort of top of their refresh cycles, which customers might have a tendency to want to maybe finance their equipment or even to leverage some of our kind of certified pre-owned services. So those sort of data points, really useful to be able to work with partners on to see where we can go in there together to, make a difference with that customer.
And it's pointless us going in on our own, right? So we should go in with the partner. If we've got some data on it, you've got some data. Instead of us just rocking up and then we absolutely hack off the partner because we've done that, we've got to go in together. And we train our end user sales team to do.